I am so sorry.
Danny,
Yeah?
what was the last thing you heard?
Something about Granum saying to Da Vinci needing to find Altia's divine spark.
Yeah.
I'm back.
I am so sorry, guys.
It might make exporting a bit weird, but
Uh,
Sure, the German. I'm sorry.
anyway.
We're gonna end off with the Da Vinci talk.
yeah, when we're back live.
Are we gonna
We
end
are. I
session
think we're
this?
back. Yeah, we're back.
Anyway, hmm. Hmm. Divines. Sorry. Hmm. A divine spark. I I have a theory on that. I think she left her spark with those of her creation. And I have a lead that one of her creations is in the south of the Flagora Desert. I seek to go there next if I can. Mm. Grainum, as I have given my word to Altia directly, I give you my word. By the gift that has been given to me, I will do what I can to help bring Altia back.
Ash, are you there?
He, I think Danny's not hearing you.
Yeah, I can't hear him. Let me hop out of voice chat and hop back in. Maybe that'll fix it.
Just give me a minute.
Okay, can you hear him now?
No.
Talk.
Oh, there. I can hear him now.
Well,
I'm sorry.
it's
Yeah.
fine. I should have figured you couldn't hear me when you kept not responding to me asking you a question earlier. And then Armored asked you the same question. You responded to him.
Technical difficulties, dear bitch. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh well.
What?
We could fill you in on what was said in a little bit.
Anyway, let's continue.
I have to wonder if perhaps you were a divine hero in a previous life. Your spirit certainly seems to fill the role.
I would just say one who's seen the world enough to know a bit of good goes a long way.
It's more than that. All right then. Give me some time. Perhaps by the end of the day. Or maybe the one to follow. And I will grant you all a boon that will aid in your travels.
That would be much appreciated.
He nods.
And I must ask that you do not speak of the divine sparks to any.
You have my word.
And I trust that you'll keep it.
He extends his hand back outwards to you again.
Da Vinci, with a bit more confidence, grabs his hand.
And you all reappear back with the party in the exact same position you left off from.
At this point, Keta's probably brought out the guitar and is singing as she's playing. Oh, hi.
Oh, Granddad killed him.
Hey.
No, there's a song that I'll post in the melodies later that she was singing.
Okay.
So it goes, oh, he's alive. I thought you killed him.
No, nothing like that.
Intervention. As you all reappeared, Graynham is back to the previous lacking of presence he was before.
Well, that was quick.
You should really just become a cleric, or at least find some sort of god to worship, because this is now what, the third one you've talked to?
Da Vinci gives a glare at Keta.
Okay,
What?
he disappeared
it's
for the rest
not-
of you guys, right?
Yeah, it disappeared.
Okay.
It's not uncommon to meet the gods.
I mean, I met you. That's about it.
I'm sure you'll meet others on your travels. Given what you all have done so far,
And he looks over at the cave.
I'm sure you'll have some run-ins.
I hope it's not Aquila.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
To be fair, that
Gonna
cave is-
depend.
What did Filsy just say?
To be fair, that cave is not our fault.
No,
Almost
it's
died
not.
because of it.
That's not good.
I've almost died plenty of times.
Stop
I
that.
guess then you would have met another god.
Yeah, I would have met
Maybe.
Grandma.
At
I
least
don't-
the aspects of Grimma.
Yeah, I don't really know how that works.
One of the soul hunters comes for you and takes you back to elsewhere.
We should probably
Is that
either
where my
go.
god is?
I don't know.
Filsy, in this time you would have been able to complete your identification spell. Because I assume
What?
you've been ritual casting it this whole time.
Yeah, Fel's just been sort of off and on while she wasn't talking to people.
Okay. I mean, Travenche and Graynham were gone for a while, so
As they were
Before
having
he-
a lovely chat.
Before he
Party.
I'll tell you in just
Sorry.
a second. Sorry.
just before they probably set out or Granddad leaves, she's just gonna kind of step closer and whisper to him. Can you see what I actually look like? The sublucidus version of me? I met another creature that could see that, and I'm just curious.
You see his eyes slowly drift over you.
Yes.
That work for everyone around us? She seems to be very concerned, like, oh no, he knows.
I see your friends. And I see you. I don't know if you want me to see anything else.
If you see anything on the big guy, just don't tell Mom.
I see he's an orc, not a human.
Leave it at that.
Totally
say
not
Keta's-
suspicious there, Keta.
Is he
she's
trying to
concerned.
pretend to be a human?
It's a long story.
No, you all were muttering something about Fellhaven when I was fixing those crystal rods.
He's more than an
Crystal
orc.
rods or iron rods?
Yes, Felhaven is an awful place.
It's
I
a
mean, I
very
thought this was a
bizarre
whispered
kingdom.
conversation.
You seem to think that matters.
Nah,
He is a god.
no, I thought it was a whispered conversation between him and Keta.
He's more than an orc, but he doesn't know
Oh,
that.
sorry.
Okay. I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, she's just trying to say that Lee's her boyfriend.
Why are you suddenly here?
Ah,
Wait. Hmm? He immediately just like drops the like super like refined persona and just immediately goes into Granddad mode. It's like,
he is my boyfriend. Mom already knows that part.
Well, she didn't tell me that.
Fel's
Please
just
don't
trying
scare
to
him.
wait money.
Please don't scare him away. He's already kind of frightened of Mom and Dad. I don't think he needs to be frightened of you as well.
to be fair, I'm already scared.
I'm not going to do anything, Keta. I'm glad that you found someone.
Kind of smiles and she goes to like do the playful like punch on the arm and realizes that's a god. I'm not gonna do that.
I mean, even if you did it, it would just be like punching a person.
She still feels awkward about it. Like,
He just does it to you, just gives you a little tap.
so, you should probably go check out that star, and I should probably tell, and then we should probably get back and tell Mom, we're not dead. All that.
And I'll make sure that she doesn't ground you all. Specifically all of you.
I don't think she can ground Brimstone.
What are you laughing at?
Vivian could definitely ground Brimstone.
I mean,
He just looks at Brimstone.
don't think he.
I didn't do anything this time,
I know.
I think.
This time. You get to keep all your horns this time.
It's odd to think that at one point you might have been my son-in-law.
What? Oh,
Wait, what?
Brimstone just.
might have
What?
been. He might have been my dad.
That's not how that. I don't think that's how that works.
No, I think.
Just like look at Granum like confused.
And at that point, he just distance on
God.
a breeze of wind,
Yeah,
just
he would do
laughing.
that.
So should we go check out that star first before I go collect my violin and other things?
Yes. I think.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't
we'll
know.
need to take a day or two before we depart off to the desert.
I don't want to go where it's hot again. Ah. We don't have a
Keta.
cart. We're gonna... Yeah.
Your guitar is buzzing.
I'm gonna grab the guitar. And start playing a few, like, strumming on it to see if that's gonna, like, calm the buzzing.
The Ross
Huh?
bees.
Just a bee's nest flies out of it. No. You notice that the strings seem to have gone from the typical sort of metallic silver. They are now gold.
Guys! Look!
What?
Hmm?
Yes, it's a guitar.
No, look at the strings! They're gold!
Aww.
What?
Yeah, I'm with him.
Well,
I don't know what the fuck's been
Pretty
going on
much
with him.
At this point, as you guys are looking at it, it's always had these sort of like very small engravings and like sort of filigree on it that are more akin to a sort of blowing leaf pattern around the outer edges of the guitar's well. You notice as those become much more pronounced, and there are actually small details almost etched into the side of the well that are actually like carved leaf.
Oh, that's fucking weird.
As being in the
Yes.
very presence of the god that created it once more has caused that item to evolve. Oh,
cool!
explain what that means.
Yeah. Yeah, she's gonna just go back to playing the tune that she was and go back to singing what she was before.
Huh.
It's a much
I
clearer
guess-
sound now.
Yeah.
I guess Granum being here might have had an effect on it.
In fact,
He actively used his magic in its presence.
Yeah? Hmm. That's weird.
Oh, but Granum has offered to give us a bit of help.
it's nice of him.
So within the next day or two, we should get to some boon to help us on our travel out to the desert.
As long as I get to say a proper goodbye to Mom before, we have to head out, That's all I want, because to Vente, I don't get to see her often. I know this is really important, but, I barely get to see my mom.
No, Keta, I understand wanting to see your family. While we are pressed for time, we aren't that pressed. We've got 6 to
Also-
7 weeks, and getting to where we need to go, I think looking at the map, it would take us about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So we've got time.
I mean, if Granum's helping us out, it's possible that we might get there faster than we expect.
That is also true. Depends on what we get.
Maybe. I don't know. He's always really hard to read. Maybe it's
Guys,
just not good at reading people.
when we settle out everything, can I ask you guys a favor?
But
It's nothing big. It's, well, remember how I said I want you guys to be there when I do the whole thing in front of the church?
Mm-hmm.
Just, I think I'd be going to the Citadel. I'm not too sure. I have to relook at the proper map. But I'm very
Probably.
anxious to go into the seat of technically my grandfather's power, and I just want to make sure that you guys would be okay with staying close. I wanna, explode in the middle of the street.
we could, although that is actually something I'd like to talk to you, well, everyone, but you specifically, Keta.
Yeah, I can't. Unless I'm not floating the street.
Given some projections, there might be the possibility that we might try to travel directly from Valehaven to Tezverel. Which might put a delay on the plans to go to the Citadel.
I would be traveling straight to Tezverel.
According to Vivian, that's the safest place for whoever we're saving from Valehaven.
Well, I mean, as I said, when we're all done with everything, I don't particularly feel like rushing it. Again, I know Aquila won't directly go against Granum, but he still terrifies the shit out of me.
Okay, just want to make sure that was
He seems like a dickhead, but I don't think he's stick.
That is debatable at times.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's go head off to a star.
All right.
Yes. Starbound we go.
That's a video game.
Yes, it is.
It's a good video game too.
Reference.
Speaking of heading back to the Emerald Plateau, Keta, can you remember to remind me to tell you later that you need to get more medicine for Lee?
Oh, okay.
So you want her to remind you to tell her to tell
just
you to go to a
remind
place?
her that- just reminding, so we actually remember to get him some more of that medicine I got him before.
I mean, if we're going to Failhaven, then we could just take that black flash bottle and possibly bottle up some more. We don't know when his wild magic stores are gonna run out. He's a big boy.
Yes.
What?
That's why I'm saying to remind me, because we'll be doing a 3-week journey west.
To the desert, yes.
Did not just take.
He looks down at his tusks.
Okay, yeah, but Lee, wait, did he grow back that fast?
Yep.
Wait a minute. Fuck.
That's kind of annoying,
I guess
actually.
it's the Lavani.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if what LA was saying about what he is, it makes sense. Teeth fall out when you're biting something.
Can we continue this conversation as we're walking to our next?
I'm assuming you guys are walking while having this conversation. Delzy, by the way, you finished identifying the item.
What I got?
You identify it loosely as. I'm trying to think about what to recall this because it has a specific name, like a character name relation, and that character is not in this. I'll simply refer to this as living ooze.
Oh no!
You know that this is a substance that, if you can manage to drink it over the course of an hour, and by extension attune to it, it will grant you a lot of interesting properties based on the ooze contained within.
Oh, fun.
But it's a matter of if you can actually manage to drink it and then keep it down.
Oh boy.
I see.
So, Failsy, you want to know why that item it was on my mind whenever we were making your backup character yesterday?
I see.
'Cause-
Yes.
Because it was the item that was in the wife box.
Delicious.
A potion of slime. You know, for all your slime needs.
Potion of
Yeah.
becoming slime boy.
Yes. So, are we wanting to wrap up the situation with the star and then just call tonight's session as you guys are making your way back to the Emerald Plateau?
Depends on
We
how
wanna-
long that takes.
It won't take very long because there's nothing else on this mountain right now. Except for animals.
Okay.
As long as
But-
it's probably just gonna be a few checks of us probably harvesting stuff.
It's more or less me rolling to see if there's anything interesting contained within.
Okay.
Because you guys actually
Sure.
have the tools required to harvest one of these things. Looks at
Hmm.
Da Vinci.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's got the primum tools that could be reused for harvesting.
You very specifically have a primum chisel as part of
Yes.
your jewelry tools.
So
Chisel
Yeah. Sorry.
and a hammer.
I was gonna say all the way Keta's playing her new guitar and singing as she plays just to kind of liven up the travel.
It's basically like 7 in the evening by the time you guys actually get to the star.
Question. While
Say?
they're walking, Da Vinci would pull out what was it called? The power piece of time. Is
Yeah,
it reacting at all? Like, especially like given Raynham's presence having just been nearby.
I mean,
Because,
if you wanted to
he-
do that, you would have had to look at it while Granum was present. And you
He-
didn't at the time, so.
He explicitly didn't because he didn't want to be pulling it out and having Granum see it.
And just be like, boy,
Yeah, just like,
Boy.
what's that you got there?
boy, what you do? Why you got?
Gimme.
I'm a take. No, he wouldn't have done. Granum's show.
He wouldn't
But-
have taken, but
He would have definitely questioned.
and Da Vinci was deliberately trying to be vague about how much he explicitly knows.
As for if it's reacting to the star as you're getting closer, it doesn't seem to be. Like, at points you think it might be, but then you realize that you just happen to be, like, coordinately in the same direction where it was pointing the whole time. It just happens to be the stars in front of you. It does not seem that the pendant is reacting to the star.
Okay.
But yes, you all get up there, and there is a large crater in the side of the mountain, probably a good 40 or 50 feet wide, about 20 feet deep, and there are parts of it that are still like currently either burning or still slightly molten. But it's
Ooh.
not so hot that the tieflings in the party can't get close to it. Da Vinci, it's a little toasty for your liking.
Yeah, maybe the rest of you can investigate it. It's a little hot here for me.
Oh, come on, you can do it. You've danced across fire probably before. Let's go.
Well, yes. I also did not just get blown up by a fireball, and my skin's a little sensitive to the.
Little blistery. You got some
I got blown
blisters.
up by your fireball yesterday too. Trust me, it hurt. I got thrown against a tree.
Kata?
He was the only one.
Kata, he's human. Humans aren't as sturdy as we are. It's unfortunate.
Hey.
Not that sturdy.
I just imagine Dravinje as JPEG. I take offense to that. I resemble that remark.
She just looks at Dravinche and goes, "You know, I don't mean anything by it."
Aside from the truth.
Let's get the tieflings in there and leave Lee and
Well. For what it's worth, Dravinche, that hurt a lot me too.
got crushed by rocks.
Everything in that situation hurt.
Well, you're practically close enough to the kegs to hug them.
Yes.
Yeah. Into the crater we go.
Yeah, you guys go. If you need anything, just holler and.
Do you give them your tools?
Well, he doesn't know if they'll need them yet.
That's fair. To be fair, the only one who actually knows that something similar to premium tools has to be used for this type of material is Brimstone. Most because you remember Patton very explicitly mentioning how much he had to pay to get a set of premium chisels made so he could excavate those rocks.
Yeah, so what is all of this stuff anyway? What's in here?
Oh, fuck.
Probably doing investigation checks and shit like that.
Yeah, so yeah. Whoever is doing this, go ahead and make an investigation check, because currently you see at the bottom of this crater pit this sort of like slightly collapsed inwards. It almost sort of looks like a melted metal bubble.
I'll inspire Brimstone, and as I'm looking,
Okay, I have to actually do checks retroactively because Faisley apparently is trying to drink the goo.
Mm-hmm.
should we
I was
wait on
looking
it?
away at my notes.
Yeah, let's resolve Failsy's attempt to drink slime first.
Alright, I need you to make 3 Constitution saving throws for me.
Con saves, okay. 24,
Alright,
15.
alright.
Ooh, that one.
Okay, I have to roll severity. Alright then.
This is when Failsy spits up a black pudding.
Not very severe. You just can't get the last portion of it down.
Cool.
You're like, oh.
This is so gross!
Yeah, and you all can smell this horrible thing Failsy is forcing herself to drink as you're walking.
Failsy, what the fuck are you doing?
You smell
Eating
worse than my. You smell worse than my dad does when he doesn't shower for a day.
You smell worse than a troll who decided just shit all over the side of a wall.
Well, it's not that bad, but it's certainly not pleasant.
Just prestidigitation, the smell of cookies around her, just to try to mask the smell. As she's like,
Ah, yes. Much like a bad Febreze, you just spray cookie scent all over your face, and the cookie scent is mingling with this terrible rotten vinegar smell. Failsy, you can attempt one more Constitution check. Not save this time.
Okay, con check.
Gross vinegar cookie.
21.
You manage to power through and suck down the last bit of it. And you
Just
feel
the-
something weird happening inside your body. It's
I
like
regret everything already.
you feel like something slithering around inside you, like expanding outwards from your stomach.
Really tell Jamel that Failsy's not allowed to really drink anything weird at this point because she's already subjected herself to many weird things.
And as everyone else is turning back at you to like ask you what you're doing, Felzy melts.
What?
What the actual fuck?
Like she just
Well-
melts into a pile of goo.
Okay,
This is
I know.
happening before. Shit.
Okay,
And a puddle.
okay.
You can't say anything in this form.
So,
It just gurgles.
just little bubbles forming in the
so
goo sound.
I know because I want it to happen. She's not dead. What the fuck?
And she reforms.
I poke
I'm back.
Failsy- can I
Failsy,
poke
what the
Failsy's
fuck?
stomach?
I actually kind of want you guys to make Constitution saving throws to see if you vomit. Because that was gross.
18.
Da Vinci
See.
doesn't vomit. Keta doesn't vomit.
I've seen some shit.
19.
Motorgun doesn't vomit. Brimstone vomits.
What about Lee?
Directly on her to spite her.
I think that brought back memories of something in the war, like some sort of chemical warfare they just made.
I'm just gonna paint this, just because of what Mythos had just said. Brimstone walks up to you, Failsy, after you reconstitute, opens his mouth like he's about to say something, and just projectile vomits on you.
Ugh.
I don't know. I thought it would add.
Closer.
I thought it would add mass. I don't fucking know.
Failsy flicks vomit from herself and onto Brimstone. It's like, fuck you.
Get off of
No.
Brimstone with prestidigitation.
It just sloughs onto the ground.
Poke her in the stomach to see if she's jelly-like.
Nope, solid Failsy. Well, she's always kind of squishy, but she's solid.
What the actual fuck?
She's no more squishy than people.
Failsy prestidigitation says self-clean. Blah.
Bite yourself. Do you taste like acid?
Failsy licks the back of her hands like,
No more than usual.
no.
Why do you drink things if you don't know if you know that something weird's gonna happen?
Because something weird's gonna happen.
That's exactly
Failsy.
why
Yeah.
I checked it first.
5 this long. Is it because you have generally Jamel looking over you to make sure you don't drink too many weird things?
They are
Yes.
like 90% of.
Yes, but Jamel's not here to stop me now.
We need to. I need to learn sending to talk to your wife.
Oh, by the way, technically, Failsy, you now only have 2 free possible attunement slots because you cannot in attunement to that item.
Oh.
Shit.
no.
So
Well,
if you had 3 already, one of them has to go.
No, but now I don't have any achievements left.
All right. From here until now on, you cannot attune to more than 2 other items.
She has the staff and.
Staff and mask, and the rest is soul bonded.
Oh, I was thinking, Fenris. But yeah, the mask.
Yeah, I really need to learn descending to talk to your wife about impulse control for you.
And now we cut back to the meteor.
I'm gonna use an inspiration on Brimstone and do investigation myself.
Alrighty.
Okay. Okay.
I've put that item here so I can add the stats on the character sheet now.
I don't know if it'll pop up in the server, but I can copy paste its information and send it to you.
I've got the information here, so I can
Okay.
copy paste.
Would Morrigan be investigating as well?
Yeah, they can all be investigating.
I only have a
Travince,
+1,
you
so I
technically can go down there. It's just you might take a point or two of fire damage, and that's up to you if you want to.
He would stay close enough that to be where he's comfortable, so that they can say if Brimstone realizes he needs Primum tools, they can call to Da Vinci and not have to climb all the way out of the crater.
Yeah.
But
all right, so
he would
you're
be close enough to help.
fair enough. So you're about 25 feet into the crater, whereas everyone else is down the full 50 feet into the crater.
Yeah.
Wait, no, you're 15. Well, they're down the full 25. It's a 50-foot wide crater. It's 25 foot to the middle. Alrighty then.
Fails to be investigating.
Oh, yes. Investigations.
Like somebody rolls higher than fucking 10.
Well, you got a 12.
Yeah.
Where's my buttons? There it is.
Push the buttons.
14.
Alright. It's kind of accurate that none of you are really succeeding this roll, because you're down there and realizing this thing is basically just a weird lumpy, kind of like a semi-dome shape. You can't see the underside of it, but what you can see is that it's not a perfect sphere, but it's been squished down like a ball. When it impacts with a surface, it gets, and it seems to have cooled and stayed in that shape. So you don't know what the metal is at a glance, but you do know that you're not finding any gaps to get inside of it. You'll probably have to start breaking it open if you want to try to get anything out. That's when Brimstone realizes that, oh, you need Primum tools to break open this material.
Hey, Da Vinci.
Yeah?
You got those fancy Primum tools, right?
Yeah, I do. They're specifically for jewelry, but they're tough enough to deal with almost anything.
I'm probably gonna need a chisel or something like that.
Yep, got that.
Alright.
Chisels, hammers, saws.
Well, I ain't gonna really be doing any good to try to cut through this metal. Let's try to puncture it if we can.
Well,
I can run up to you.
So you're saying it's metal?
Yeah, metal of some kind. I don't specifically know what it is. I never worked with the shit.
Let me try to get a closer look.
Alright.
He's gonna risk the fire damage.
Alright then. As you get closer, your pocket starts buzzing.
Pulls out the timepiece, because that's probably what is buzzing.
Yep. The arrow is not pointing at it, but the timepiece itself is buzzing.
So switch it to kind of. There's compass mode. There's geolocator mode.
Yeah. Nothing, none of the specific modes are reacting to the thing. The watch itself is just buzzing. It feels almost as if the material the watch is made out of is resonating with the same material this is made out of.
Oh. I wonder if this is similar kind of material that Altia is made out of.
Makes
I
sense.
don't know.
Let's
Last I saw this metal used.
Let me take a closer look. Nat 1.
Alright.
She's gonna kind of amble her way over to Ranch and he goes,
Uh,
I can
That
Pat, pat.
the result of that nat one, you're saying you're gonna go take a look, and it's basically you're having to steady yourself to get down there to basically climb down. You put your hand right on a rock that is on fire without looking.
Ah!
Did you just
Careful,
burn
that's on
yourself?
Ow, 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 ow,
Yeah.
ow, ow,
You
just
take
burned
4
yourself.
points of fire damage.
ouch.
You can reattempt the roll because you
It's
didn't
gonna
even
give
get a
him
chance.
inspiration. Kata's gonna kind of go over to him and give him like a small pat on the back and go, "You can do it. I know you can." And give him inspiration. And roll a d6 if you would like.
13. No, he doesn't find anything.
There
Yeah,
you
you're
go.
going up to it, and it actually is doing something kind of strange right now.
The metal?
Yes, the metal. Like, as you're getting the watch closer to it, the meteorite itself is starting to vibrate.
Turn to what?
What?
Starting to vibrate.
Oh, okay.
Like, you all feel the ground going like...
That's fucking weird.
I wonder if it reacts to material like itself?
Or if maybe, since that's got a connection to some god, maybe it reacts to god shit. I don't know.
It's one of Altia's creations in there.
No. At least nothing from the timepiece says it so.
Think
Brimstone.
maybe. Whoa.
And he will just give the tools that Brimstone requested.
Oh. Right.
And I think I should probably back off.
Maybe.
If anything else happens and you're a bit too far away to see, I can message you.
I can see you clearly from up there.
He's only 15 feet away.
Yeah.
As
Unless
well as
something really weird happens.
excavations.
Alright. Brimstone, I need you to attempt a strength whirl.
Right. That thing that none of us are good at.
As will assist by holding the thing steady.
Okay. So I guess that would be an advantage then.
Yes.
Okay. 15.
15? Alright. It's really tempting to miss the chisel and just hit Failsy's hands, but you don't.
Yeah. Brimstone's had his.
You vomited on her. That's all the assertion of dominance you need.
Yeah. Brimstone's had his pettiness for the day. It's fun.
Alrighty then.
It's more of I don't know what'll happen if I might just break her fucking fingers. Might not be good to do that.
Especially since you're holding a premium hammer.
Yeah, against an unknown metal surface.
Alrighty then. But you start hammering away, and slowly but surely you're managing to get like chunks and pieces of this material to fall off. The premium tools are less breaking it as much as they are actually like carving into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like you're doing the world's worst engraving job.
Trying to Vinci seeing that from a distance, just like, oh come on, you could carve that so much nicer.
Yeah. Currently the chisel he's actually using is one of the ones you use to chip rough gemstones out of rocks, as opposed to one of your like proper carving tools.
If it's at all possible for like the things that are dropping off, like the metal that's dropping off, once it's cooled enough, Keta will be picking up and kind of just putting it in like a little cloth.
The actual material that the meteorite is made of is not hot anymore. It's just that occasionally, like, a piece of stone that may or may not be made of a potentially flammable material of this mountain is still on fire.
So Keta will be kind of picking up what's being dropped off and probably like doing that with if Morrigan would help her with it.
Yeah.
Just so
Hey,
it's kind of
could
an assembly line.
Could one of you bring up one of those pieces up here? I want to take a closer look at it.
I can do that.
So, what did your friend ever say these things can be made from these? So, what can be made this stuff, Brimstone?
I mean, from what I saw, most of what he made, I got no fucking clue what it was.
You know, a lot of what Padden made wasn't necessarily out of this metal. It was out of stuff that he found inside these meteors.
Mm.
Make a history check and see if you can remember things Padden told you about this metal.
History. Nope.
He was talking nonsense.
He was probably saying it in Gnomish.
Though he's probably speaking in English or common, but you didn't care.
It looked like magic shit, so Brimstone just...
Specifically, what you remembered him doing was, like... You don't remember why he was explaining this, but you just remember him having a sword made of this material. I don't know why he did, but he just did. And he bent it, and that's all you remember about the demonstration.
Sword bends.
You don't remember why he did that? He just did it.
Bendy sword. That I don't fucking...
Right, you two make an investigation check. Meanwhile, I'm gonna resolve what Dervenche is doing.
Okay.
Alright, so Morrigan brings you up a piece of this metal.
Do I make investigation too?
Yeah, you can. Or you can... Yeah, he already rolled, so go ahead and
make your own. You're not helping.
Wow. Got those nat 20s out earlier.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Cat is just picking up rocks.
But yeah. Morrigan brings you up a piece of this metal, Dervenche.
Comes to this bloody rock. Fauzi's not been doing well. I guess Fauzi just doesn't do rocks.
Nobody does this, Rob. They haven't rolled above a 15.
Just Da Vinci holds up the hunk of metal, pulls out his pocket watch, and I'm guessing they're both vibrating.
Very lightly.
He's going to try tapping the pocket watch with a rock.
Again, it's not a rock, it's a piece of metal. But,
or metal.
it immediately changes shape. And becomes like, yes, the metal, not the pocket watch. The metal immediately changes shape, going from like this raw melted like chunk to it has a completely flat, like perfectly planed edge on one side, and the other side appears to have been sheared off a larger piece of metal.
Oh, wait!
What?
Stop carving it. I've got an idea.
Damn it, I thought I was getting through it.
You guys really aren't making much progress trying to carve it, even with only a 15. You've like gotten off the equivalency thereof of about 3 pounds of this material.
Da Vinci's going to go back down to the bottom of the crater.
I imagine she's doing so much more carefully this time.
Yes.
Yeah. Easy enough.
So now both the watch and the meteor is vibrating.
Yes, basically the whole ground around you is vibrating as this big chunk of material is just vibrating in front of you.
Okay. If it did that to this, holding up the piece, so both Failsy and Brimstone can see that it's perfectly formed rather than rough chunk.
That's fucking weird.
Da Vinci's just gonna kind of tap the pocket watch on the meteor.
Yeah. As you're watching this happen, Brimstone, you suddenly remember the context of that display. Padden was showing you that if you melted down this material and made a weapon out of it, if that weapon ever got bent or like chipped and damaged, and you were able to hit it with a certain frequency, it would immediately reassume its correct shape.
Ah, that's what it was. Self-healing.
Self-mending metal. And as you're watching this, the meteorite in front of you reforms into a large sort of dome-shaped, sort of spherical-shaped pod. Like it sort of unstretches from the ground. And you notice it has all these like intricate cogs designed on the outside of it.
Oh,
Did we just find an Altea egg?
I imagine there's also like a couple chunks missing from.
Yeah, you notice that these cogs are essentially like at strategic points, basically on the leftmost and rightmost point, top and bottom, and forward facing on each side. And you notice that like on one of the like diagonal corners, even though spheres don't have corners, I'm sure you get what I mean. Yeah. Like on one of these surfaces, there are just ripped out chunks. It's actually not technically a sphere. It's almost sort of like a dodecahedron, or not.
Like a pill?
Yeah.
Like
D20.
just like a decahedron, like a D20. Dodecahedron is.
No, that's right.
Dodecahedron is a 12-sided dice.
Oh.
It's like a D20. Where it has these like flat surfaces.
Okay. Whatever.
But at a glance, it itself is almost spherical.
Why don't we try and put one of the pieces?
Da Vinci's gonna try like to merge back the piece of metal that he has back to place.
Yeah. It's like you don't even have to line it back up. The moment you touch it back to the surface, it sinks into the surface and refills out its gap.
Hey Keto, where's all those pieces you're picking up?
Put them in my bag. Give me a second.
You just... Bloop, bloop,
I think the Altea egg wants them back.
Look how you differentiate.
Yep. You just let them refuse back into it, and that one corner that had been chipped off reforms.
No. From what I remember, most of the stuff that Patton used wasn't from the, wasn't the metal, it was whatever was inside. Whatever you can salvage, at least.
Pretty much as you to finally pull the watch away, now that it no longer needs to be vibrating it to reform it, one of the cogs starts to turn and extends outwards.
Ah!
What?
Da Vinci's going to grab the cog and start turning it.
You don't need to.
It's automatic.
It turned itself and just shot out. Like, almost at a speed that you had to jump out of the way of it. And you notice inside that there are... I'm sure we've all seen that scene in Men in Black where they have those things that slide out of the wall with, like, the weapon.
Yeah, the weapons rack.
Yeah. Except, rather than a weapons rack, this one just has a crystal sphere inside of it.
Oh, fuck?
Like a wild magic crystal?
No. This one's sort of like a cloudy gray color. And you can almost see the actual, like, clouds that are inside the gemstone as you're, like, trying to observe it with your eyes shift and move.
Oh.
Elsie will try and lift it out with her mage hand.
Don't touch it.
She's not touching it.
It just gently lifts out. And the cog spins again and closes itself.
Okay, so what this? I'm gonna need an identify ritual.
It's around the size of a tangerine. Or slightly larger than a golf ball.
Yeah, you identify it.
I wonder if any of the other ones have something in them.
Should we take this as well? The big
I'm
magic
kind of-
case.
The
kinda
meteor is
tempted to
pretty
take all.
large.
But I mean, there's an entire crate full of a crate made of living metal or repairing metal.
Unless you can carry something that probably weighs,
Several tons.
How
I
big
don't
is it?
know, 6,000 pounds. If you can, be my guess. But other than that, no.
Oh no, 6,000 pounds is underestimating it.
Not the whole meteor, just the dodecahedron, the decahedron.
That's
what
the
is-
meteor.
Oh,
Yeah, Da Vinci vibrated the meteor back into looking like it did before it hit the ground.
I
Yeah.
think we found what it might be looking for us to find.
Just messing with the other cogs to see if anything happens.
They turn and open.
But is there anything
More
inside?
stuff.
I actually have to roll.
I forgot.
Yeah, I
Do you
think
just
we-
cast Identify, or are you ritual casting?
Fauzi's got the slot, so she'll just cast Identify for expedience sake.
Kent
All
will
right,
help
then.
Brimstone in turning the cogs because she's got a bit of strength to her.
Alright then. Filzy, you find that item, and let me find what this thing. Let me remember if this thing actually has a name.
Big blast explodey ball.
No.
It's an orb of explosion. It's a glass orb of fireball, level 5.
Mm.
Okay, I don't remember if this thing actually has a name. I thought that these had proper names. I'll find it later because I know they exist. But for now, I'll just label this as a storm orb.
Oh, fun.
Am I
Essentially-
holding
Hmm?
spell?
Not a spell per se, but a spell focus.
Oh, fun.
It is an elementally attuned spell focus that when you cast any magic through it that would create lightning damage, it is automatically cast as if performed at a higher level,
Oh,
without
fuck.
needing to expend a higher level spell slot.
So you cast lightning bolt. That's always 4th level.
That would actually be really good for Da Vinci.
Who here knows lightning magic?
I do.
Just hold up a gun. Yes.
Most of mine
Definitely.
is distraction magic. So to go to Da Vinci, I mean, it's also kind of his.
Fauzi,
Uh,
is the thing to Da Vinci? Or, gives it to him?
I guess I can slot this into my spell dancer focus.
Yeah, your spell dancer focus, which is very specifically a piece of jewelry made for this type of thing. You actually notice the gemstones in your focus, like not the ones you added personally, but the ones that were gifted to you by your teacher,
Mm-hmm.
they resemble this gemstone. Like, obviously, yours are, if I remember correctly, because I'm bad at memory, attuned to fire.
She was a fire dancer.
Yes. And Da Vinci himself is wind, I believe?
Yes, he's a wind or air dancer.
Yeah.
Forget the specific name for it.
You notice that the fire stones that are in your ensemble do somewhat resemble this material.
It-
Like where it has that sort of moving light inside of it.
This is actually probably a more powerful version of the gems I have. I'll have to swap these out when we get a chance to have a bit of downtime.
Alright. And upon opening the other cogs, 2 of the other faces actually have something in them as well.
Oh boy.
Oh, what are they?
They actually both have these more of these gemstones, but each one is a different color.
Vinci, I
Damn
think
it,
we
it's
found.
all magic shit.
One is a sort of It almost... Sorry. I got super brain scrambled for a second. I hate when that
Should
happens.
Belsey identify these as well? Or
Yeah, go
can I
ahead.
take a guess?
I mean, you could assume, because I'm about to tell you the colors, but
Yeah.
Okay.
one of them you could assume at least. One appears to be a red color. Looks almost as if it has captured fire inside of a crystal.
So it's more of an orange, red.
It's actually almost like a white red.
Oh, okay. But
Like
still,
a
it's
very bright fire.
yeah, it's the lighter spectrum of red.
And then the other one is a weird pulsing purple color.
Huh.
One of these looks like fire, and the other one looks like.
I'm just gonna spend 2 more charges of spells to get a sense of what these are.
Alright. The fire is... Or the... Yes. The orange one is obviously related to fire. Or the yellowish white orange one. Obviously related to fire. All aspects of fire. Which would, as you'd be able to tell Brimstone, include hellfire.
Hey, Brimstone,
Mm,
pump your brand through this and watch something melt away. It ups fire.
And I swear to God I rolled this. The other one is attuned to thunder damage.
I do thunder
Sonic
damage.
Hmm.
My main damaging kind of spells. If you would
The-
let me have that.
These gems are.
I
These are from
don't
the
Sonic,
spell
but I
dancer
do
trade.
that's Sonic.
We normally use these for our focuses. If you look at mine, I got mine from my teacher, and
Looks like
mine's fire related.
Alright, well, we can resolve this shit later.
Yeah, let's just collect what we can and then get out. If you think, Brimstone, that the metal itself might be worth it, but also take some of that.
I don't know where Patton went. He's the only person I really know that actually has any interest in all this shit.
I will say, even with your crap history roll, you did suddenly get reminded of stuff whenever you saw the material do its thing.
Mm-hmm.
Patton was a member of a guild of people who worked with these materials. You don't explicitly know what the guild was because it was kind of secretive, but he was a member of a guild.
Well, I mean, I know of other people who use this shit, but I don't know who or what or where they are. I mean, we can take some of it. It's just a matter of I don't know how useful it's going to end up being.
Well, let's gather up a little bit. It might at least sell for a good amount. And we can head back. I really wanna see my bunnies.
It would be nice if we could have Madam Elway carry it.
Says Lee as he looks around.
I don't think that's how it works.
Can she even carry this?
She's very small.
I think it's a matter of if the cart could carry it. I'm sure Owe could find a way, though.
Hey,
I could
Prevent,
certainly try.
Yeah, so yeah, I know it.
She just walks out from around the around for the meteor. Just like you all are on one side of it, and she just walks out from the other side.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Need some help
Nice.
carrying some metal.
I mean, we don't need the whole fucking.
Yeah, we just get a little bit of metal.
Step
Um,
back.
In the meantime, it could become a garden ornament for Keta's parents' place.
Oh God.
Elway just sort of like brushes her hands forward, telling you guys to step back.
Yeah.
Step back.
Definitely step back.
Elsie backs away.
She walks in front of you all, turns around to face the meteorite, bends over, grabs the bottom of her robe, lifts it up. You have no idea what's on the other side. Walks forward, puts it down, and the meteorite is gone.
Well, that's certainly useful.
And then she turns around as if nothing happened.
I'm not even going to question it. That's not surprising at this point. I don't care. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Right, so we'll just mark down in do we mark down that we have a 1-ton meteorite?
It's a
What
lot
did
more
you
than 1 ton, but
Yeah,
We have a
probably,
meteorite.
yeah,
it's like
5, 6, maybe.
Not to exaggerate, the thing is mostly hollow, but it is probably somewhere in the range of around. Actually, I guess it's not that heavy. It's probably around 4,000 pounds.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Because I forgot about the fact earlier that these things are hollow,
Yeah.
which is why they sort of melt and deform when they land.
Yeah. Okay.
Just mark that down in weird stuff of a 4,000-pound meteorite.
Okay.
Up Madame Elway's skirt. But yeah, you
If
all.
anything, nice good gold at least.
Maybe. Anyways, probably wrap up now.
You
Yep.
guys make your way back towards the Emerald Plateau. You see Vivian waiting for you at the top of the ramp, and that's where we end off for tonight.
God.
Sure.
Alright. Hi, everybody. Here's the panicked bard Keta, who has a lot of emotions all at once. But normally Sundays you can find me at twitch.tv/Librarian Citizen, where I did play Desire the Fairy Blood Hunter, but she is currently taking some steps into Paladinhood. So you'll be meeting my new character soon enough. She is a bit of a secret. I would like to. Oh yes, that those games are usually 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then I would like to promote my friend. It's me, Timothy. He plays Dead by Daylight. He's really chill, really fun. And it's generally a fun time just to sit and chat and listen to, screaming at the stupid video game. But yeah, he streams usually just whenever. But it's my shill.
I don't have anything.
No shills for me.
I'm assuming that just leaves Danny.
By extension, just the re-announcel of the fact that we'll be back here next week.
Yeah, sorry, I was taking care
Yeah.
of posting the links to the Twitch chat.
Yeah. Again, sorry this went longer, guys. That took longer than I expected it to because you kept having bad rolls. The DC was only 15. I think you got close to a 15 at one point.
We
Yeah,
got
Failsy had a
14.
14.
But hey, the pocket watch, just a boop, and hey, everything's better now.
Yep.
But yes, we will be back here next week. Hopefully same time, definitely same channel and same day. So 7:00 p.m. EST Thursday at this channel, where we will find out just how grounded Keta is.
Spoiler warning, a lot.
Bye.
Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye.
Yeah, and hopefully next week we don't have the same level of technical difficulties because that was annoying.
Just general difficulties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright,
Well,
but
bye, everybody.
yes, good night. Yes, good
Well,
night,
hey,
everybody.
I
We'll see you
say,
next week.
well, that's okay.